Hello, 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 everybody. Listen, I am excited about this pop up for tonight. I'm excited about what I want to share for us tonight. Hello and welcome, everybody. I know that this is a pop up because it's not something that I normally. I usually have things that I have projected in when I'm going to talk, but this topic is a hard topic that I believe is so relevant for a lot of us. I believe it is so weighty, and I think it's going to give us so much clarity about some things, some places where we are in our lives as leaders, as business owners, as people in positions, as parents, as whoever we are, whatever capacity that we are operating in. One of the things that we all have in common is that we all have a heart. We all have a heart, and I think being able to understand the condition of our heart is something that's very important. I think it's one of the things that sometimes is overlooked, but we're going to deal with it tonight. So, hello. And welcome to everybody. I am Dr. Elisa Harney. I am so excited for this conversation. If you are new to me, welcome, welcome. I am the empowerment specialist. I'm a coach. I'm a strategist. My objective is to help you get positioned to prosper in your purpose. I am emphatic and I am so passionate about helping today's leaders increase their presence, their platform, their performance, and their profit with proven wealth strategies for sustainable progression. I'm also very passionate about operating in the prophetic, and I'm also very passionate about wholeness and pursuing wholeness and really being able to operate in a different level of wholeness. And so I wanted to come up. Thank you all that have shared. Thank you guys. I see you tagging some people, getting them on tonight because I think it's important for us to take a moment and do a heart assessment. For those of you all that know me, know I deal a lot with internal inventory. And I say we've got to look at the inside and we've got to figure out what's going on and so take a moment, everybody. If you're on Clubhouse, or if you know some people on Clubhouse, tell them to jump on Clubhouse, put it in their stories, ping them in, tell them to tap in. If you are on Facebook, you are definitely welcome to share and tag somebody. If you're on YouTube, you can definitely share this as well, because I think this conversation is really needed. I think that a lot of the times we continue to just keep going. We just keep moving forward. We keep going, and we never stop and do inventory on what's happening on the inside of us. A lot of the times we don't take time to do heart evaluations. And so again, welcome everybody. Tag and tap in because I think that this pop up is going to get to the heart of the matter as leaders, as people who have authority in different arenas, as people who are positioned in our purpose. This is so important for us to deal with the matters of the heart. And so I really today want to, this evening or whenever you're watching, I really want to deal with this heart issue. And I see some of you guys are already saying that this is confirmation because a lot of the times we don't have a safe place to share. One of the things that a lot of times people are guilty of, even if they're really not trying to do it, is that people project perfection. And I tell people all of the time, stop projecting perfection. One of the things that I truly believe is that truth plus transparency equals transformation. And when you know the truth, yeah, it makes you free. But until you figure out what lies holding you hostage, you're still going to be stuck. And so one of the things I believe in doing is being transparent. Now, transparent doesn't mean that everybody gets a tell all into everything that's always going on in our lives. No, but what I mean is that we have to be able to let people know that we're relatable, that everything is not always shiny and everything is not always sunny. Everything is not always on the up and up. There are times when we have some heart issues. There are times when our hearts can be under attack. We know it as a heart attack, but the truth is your heart is under attack. And in this dispensation, I believe that a lot of people, especially if you are in leadership, may be going through a purging period. You may be in a place where you are dealing with loss or you are dealing with transition. I've been dealing a lot and talking and teaching a lot about transitioning. The last time I was up, I told us to give ourselves permission to transition. But one of the things that we have to be mindful of is in that process of transition, making sure that we do a heart check, make sure that we're looking at where our heart is, if our heart is at risk for attack. And so that's what we're going to deal with this evening. Is my heart under attack? We need to understand, because sometimes we don't realize that our hearts have been under attack and even sieged, because we didn't even understand. We didn't even recognize that our heart posture had shifted. We didn't even know that the things that we used to think, the way we used to feel about certain things shifted, because our hearts were under siege. Our heart got attacked. And because we didn't do the internal inventory, we didn't even realize that our heart posture had changed. And so now we feel a certain kind of way about other people. We feel a certain kind of way about ourselves, or we don't feel the way that we used to feel, because we're so busy sometimes going through the motions. We're so busy just trying to make it, trying to get to the other side, that we have not had the opportunity to stop and do an internal inventory and an internal investigation to see, I need to know where my heart, what's my heart condition. So the reason I wanted to talk about this is because I believe that life transitions and people's positioning in our lives and our financial situations and even our assignments, when they shift, put us in a place of vulnerability, puts us in a place where our hearts are open to a lot of things. Sometimes they're open to chaos. Sometimes they're open to criticism. Sometimes they're open to love, but sometimes they're open to being crushed. And so we need to understand whether our hearts are in a place where it's vulnerable to being attacked. And so I wanted to make sure that we are in a safe place to share and to hear. And I'm so glad that you all are saying that this is the message that you need right now. I want to really deal with this. So let's start with it. What is a heart attack? Because if we're going to recognize that our heart is under attack, let's first of all recognize what is a heart attack. So in medical terms, a heart attack, watch this, happens when blood flow to the heart is suddenly blocked. Man, I need y'all to catch this, because this is going to be real good, real quick. So make sure you guys are sharing and tagging people because this is really going to give some language to our level. So a heart attack happens when blood flow to the heart is suddenly blocked. Now, suddenly blocked means you did not catch this coming. You didn't see it coming. You didn't prepare for this. This is when things happen, and this is when losses happen, or this is when people show up or leave all of a sudden, and you weren't prepared. It caught you off guard. It got in your blind spot. The rug was suddenly pulled from up under your feet. A heart attack happens again when blood flow to the heart is suddenly blocked. Part of the heart may die if that person doesn't get help quickly. I've got to say this again for y'all in the back. Part of the heart may die if the person doesn't get help quickly. One more time for the people in the back, because this is why we're dealing with, is your heart under attack? Because a heart attack happens when blood flow to the heart is suddenly blocked. There's a blockage. Something happens and that blood is not getting where it needs to get to. And if that person isn't helped, part of that heart might die. I believe that what has happened to a lot of people, and that the reason why people are operating out of offense, and the reason why people are operating out of a place of despair, and the reason why people are operating out of their dysfunction, is because their heart was under attack. And all of a sudden, where blood usually flowed all the way through, it got stopped. And so somebody didn't help that person. I'm very empathetic, and I try to look at matters that surround a person's action to really try to give me language to why they're leaning towards a certain place. And so I believe that a lot of us and a lot of people, when they were in a place where blood flow stopped, they got offended, it stops the blood flow. They got embarrassed, it stopped the blood flow. They got hurt, it stopped the blood flow. They got convicted, it stopped the blood flow. And so I believe that when things happen suddenly, and when things catch us off guard, it all of a sudden it blocks the blood to our heart, the blood flow. And so what happens is, if we don't get ourselves in a place where we can get help, where we're able to tell the truth and say, say, listen, help me. My heart is under attack. I don't love like I used to love. I'm not joyful like I was. I don't have the spirit of anticipation. I don't understand why I'm feeling offended, why I'm always defensive, why I'm walking around and I'm all of a sudden a pessimist. What's happening? Well, your heart might have been under attack. Blood flow stops. The Bible says it like this: keep your heart with all diligence, because out of it comes issues. Out of it comes issues. There's another scripture that says we're not defiled by what we put in our body. What happens is what's going to mess us up is what comes out of it. And so a lot of us are finding ourselves in a place where our hearts are under attack. And because we didn't get the proper help that we needed, because again, we've been trained to project perfection, and we're saying, no, I'm good. Everything's cool. It is what it is, when that's not the truth. The truth is we feel some kind of way. We're dealing with heart palpitations. We have shortness of breath. The truth of the matter is that last situation rocked us to our core. The truth of the matter is we didn't know he would leave. We didn't know she would do us like that. We never expected for them to act like they did. We didn't see it coming. And so all of a sudden, blood flow stopped to our heart when we were least prepared for it. If I would have known it was going to happen, at least I could have prepared myself. If I would have known they were going to do this, at least I would have positioned myself properly. Had I known that I was going to be faced with this, I would have at least tried to put up a defense. But a heart attack happened because I didn't see it coming. Man, I feel a wind. Y'all need to go ahead and share this, because I believe that there's going to be deliverance for us tonight. I believe that there's going to be breakthrough in our emotions, in our spirit, in our mindset, because our hearts are under attack and we didn't see it coming. A lot of the times we try to act so deep, and we try to, because none of us want to fall. None of us want to fall prey. But the truth of the matter, and let me throw my hand up first, and let me just be a witness. Listen, some things have happened even in my life. I didn't see it coming. Had I known certain things were going to happen, I would have prepared better. Had I known some things were going to switch up, had I known some things were going to go left, I would have positioned myself better. I would have had, but most times we don't walk around expecting our hearts to be attacked. A lot of the times we walk around, we give people benefit of the doubt. We leave ourselves open. We leave ourselves vulnerable, because we don't want to be in a place where we're always keeping barriers and barricades and buildups. And so we keep ourselves in a place where we want to be open, but it's those things that snatched us. It's those things that snuck up on us. It's those things that slapped us when we were not looking. Am I walking down anybody's road tonight? If you're on Facebook or YouTube, put up a number 1, or throw me some hand claps in the audience if you or on Clubhouse. Just let me know some kind of way that this is exactly what you're needing to deal with, or what you're dealing with tonight, or what you need to hear, because I want to make sure that we are really dealing with the heart of the matter. Is your heart under attack? Who hurt you? Who came and who snatched your joy? Who attacked your self-esteem? Who got your confidence? Who threw you off? Who came up and said the wrong thing at the right time, just when you were like, listen, I can't take another thing. Look, I'm already overwhelmed. Look, I'm already feeling some kind of way. The last thing that I need is somebody. I see y'all throwing those ones up. The last thing I need is somebody to come act a fool right now. The last thing I need financially is for something else to crash. The last thing I need is for somebody else to be offended. The last thing that I need is for somebody to, you know how it is when if you used to play outside in the neighborhood, and there was one person, who had the ball for y'all to play kickball, and then the minute they got offended, they took the ball and they went home. The last thing I need is somebody to get in their feelings, and that has pivotal roles in my life, or in my relationships, or in my finance, and they get the ball and go home. And so this is the kind of stuff that puts our heart under attack, but nobody deals with it, because we all are out here projecting perfection like everything is good. But the truth of the matter is, there are some things that hit us and they attack our heart. So here are a couple of ways, because I believe that I give practical protocol for our purpose and to help us progress. I believe that when we can understand in the natural, a lot of the things coincide with what's happening to us spiritually and emotionally. And so when you think about, there are a couple of kind of heart conditions, and I'm just going to go through about 7 main heart conditions, because I want you to find yourself in this place, because if you can find your way in it, guess what? You can find your way out out of it. Man, that just gave somebody some good news. So let me just say it one more time for the people in the back. If you can find your way in it, you can probably find your way out of it. And so if you can see yourself in this situation, and if you can really identify this matter, you'll probably be able to move forward in it. So the first type of heart condition that we deal with is coronary artery disease. Coronary artery disease. Let's talk about that for a minute. And I see y'all talking about I'm all in the house because this is what I came to do today. So coronary artery disease, it's the most common heart disease. It occurs when there is some bad cholesterol. It builds up plaque in your heart's arteries. So this is what happens when it's coronary artery disease. It happens when there's something bad. There's something bad, some kind of bad cholesterol. Something got in our heart that was not good for us. Man, y'all better hear this right now. So coronary artery disease, CAD. This is what's really interesting about it. In its early stages, it has no symptoms. So what happens though is the plaque gets large enough over amount of time, and it starts getting larger and larger until it's large enough to block your blood flow. So now all of a sudden you start now having chest pain. Your breath starts getting short. You start getting very, very tired. And in women, statistics and studies show that chest pain is more common. So here it is. All of a sudden, there was some bad blood. If you ever heard the saying that people say there was just some bad blood in between us. Listen, what they're really saying is there was some bad cholesterol that got into that heart. You allowed something that was tainted. Man, this is going to help somebody. You allowed something that was tortured or tormented to get inside of your heart. And all of a sudden, you couldn't feel it on the onset. You didn't understand it up front. Everything was good, but that thing started blocking some stuff. All of a sudden, you noticed that a little by little, some things started getting blocked off. Your access, your joy, you start getting stressed out. You start where you didn't worry about certain things. All of a sudden now, because it came in, and now you got chest pains. Man, now you start saying, what is this? Why is my breath being short? Why do I always feel like I'm so tired? And here's the other thing about it. If that plaque ruptured after it has built up for so long, a blood clot forms. And then this is what happens when the blood clot forms. Now it's blocking the artery to your heart. So now that block is there, the blood can't deliver the oxygen to your heart. So now watch this. Here it is. What's happening is I need oxygen in my heart. Man, listen, my heart needs to breathe. Can somebody type that in the comments? Because that's a mic drop. I need y'all to get free tonight. My heart has to breathe. My heart has to breathe. And so what happens a lot of times, man, your heart is not getting enough oxygen. Whew. People are not breaths of fresh air. You're in a condition where you're always stifled, where you feel like you always got to keep quiet, where you feel like you can't be your true self, where you feel like you can't let your hair down, where you feel like you can't be authentic. But can I help you? Your heart has to breathe. It is necessary that your heart breathe. And so a lot of times we're not thinking that there is something that's blocking our arteries. There's something that's stopping the oxygen from getting into our heart. And so when that happens, malfunctions start happening. We start malfunctioning. Things are not working right. What is my heart? Getting enough oxygen because my heart has to breathe. Man, is your heart being held hostage? Is your heart holding its breath? Woo! Is your heart under a hold up? Your heart has to breathe. So that's coronary artery disease. Secondly, the second heart condition is what's called heart failure. Now, here's what happens if your heart muscle becomes weak or stiff. Your heart valves develop problems, or other heart conditions reduce and change your heart's pumping ability. Man, somebody ought to holler at me in the comments. Teach Dr. E, because I'm giving it to y'all tonight. Heart failure is the second heart condition. And so this is saying now the muscle, your heart muscle has become weak or stiff. Now let's deal with both sides of that. Your heart becomes weak or it becomes stiff. Now, if your heart becomes weak, we like to make this sound cute. You know, SWV messed us up with weak. They were like, I get so weak I can hardly breathe. I lose all control and something takes over me in a daze. It is listen, I don't want my heart getting weak. I don't want my heart getting weak. I don't want my knees getting weak. I don't want my eyes getting weak. No, I don't want it. I need strength in this hour. But what happens is when our heart has been under so much attack, we lose stamina. And so that's why people, they come and attack our heart when they pull on us enough, when they stress us enough, all of a sudden our heart now stops fighting back because it's gotten weak. It's saying, you know what? I'm used to people saying what they're going to say about me. So you know what? I'm just going to let them. I'm just going to deal with it. I'm just going to listen. I'm just going to believe it. My heart stops fighting. It's gotten weak. It's saying, I'm tired of it. I'm not going to deal with this anymore. This is just too much. Our heart gets weak. But here's the other side of it. If we're not careful, when our heart begins to get attacked, we don't even allow our heart to get weak. We allow it to get stiff, which means we've come to a place where our heart has become hardened. And now we're operating in offense. And we're saying, I don't want to hear anybody. Oh, nobody will ever be able to hurt me again. And so we start shutting things down. And so now our heart has become rigid. Now we're too rigid to love. Now we're too rigid to trust. Now we're too rigid to hope. Now we're too rigid to expect because our heart has become stiff. And so understand that whether your heart is weak or whether it becomes stiff, you are in a place and you are at potential for heart failure. Is your heart under attack? We're dealing with it. Listen, I hope y'all are tagging and tinging and pinging folks in because this is good tonight. Number 3, the third heart condition. Don't throw the shoe at me. I see y'all in the comment section. Number 3, the third heart condition that is happening is arrhythmia. And we hear this a lot of the time. It means that your heart is beating either too fast, too slow, or irregularly. Well, let's deal with arrhythmia for just a second. What happens? That means that your heart, I love y'all too. Your heart is in a place of imbalance. You're allowing people to make you feel nervous. You know how it is. Here's the thing about our hearts. Our hearts are very sensitive and they move off of the signals that we give them. A lot of the times we think that our hearts and our minds, it's going to mess with somebody's theology, are connected right together. We think that, you know, well, if somebody makes me feel a certain kind of way, oh, my heart's beating so fast, that must mean that I'm excited about them. It could also mean that you're scared to death of them. Whoo! I know that just set on somebody right then. Your heart actually does not know the difference between fear and excitement. It is your mind that has to make the distinction. I almost dropped the mic on that one. So let me just say this again. Your heart can't differentiate the difference between fear and excitement. It is your mind that has to make the distinction. All your heart knows is, man, I'm beating fast. His palms are sweaty. Wow, the shortness of breath, pupils dilated, muscles tightening. It could either be excitement or it could be fear. That's why we get into this fight, flight, freeze, or I've added appease syndrome. So a lot of the times, and I've taught this before, dysfunction distorts discernment. And so when we're dysfunctional, we don't know how to draw the line between, am I excited about this or am I completely scared out of my mind? Which is why it is so easy for our hearts to get under attack, because we have not discerned the difference. Woo! So number 4, valvular heart disease. Our heart has 4 different valves, and each of them can develop separate problems. Let me just break it down like this. You might have 4 different areas that affect your life. Your family is in one valve. They can start heart problems all on their own. Your friends might be in another valve. That might be an issue in itself. Your finances can be in a completely different valve. We already know that can start our heart with problems. And then our future, worrying about tomorrow, our next move, our business, what's going to happen later, what am I doing with the rest of my life? So, four different valves that each can develop its own issues. So, our family, our friends, our finances, our future can be different valves in our lives that can have different problems. And if something happens on one of them, understand that it's going to have a direct result or a direct effect on the rest of them. So if over here my friends are acting crazy, hey bro, you better understand that somewhere it's going to show up somewhere else in my life. I hope I'm helping. Number 5. Aortic aneurysms is the fifth heart conditions I want to deal with. So the aorta is a large blood vessel that carries blood from the heart to the rest of the body. Now watch how this flips. This is where our heart has the responsibility to make sure that the rest of our body gets what it needs. So an aortic aneurysm is when the aorta enlarges or develops a bulge, watch this, due to inherited diseases or long-standing high blood pressure or high cholesterol. They can burst and the consequences can be serious. What are you saying, Dr. E? I'm saying that your heart can be overtaxed, overwhelmed, because you are over indebted and because you've put yourself in a place where you have over obligated yourself to things that you don't have the capacity for. One of the things I always teach when I am cultivating my clients is I say, when you get ready to do something or before you do something, I need you to take out your emotional scale. I need you to take out your mental scale. And I want you to put your compassion on one side of the scale and then your capacity on the other side, because a lot of the times we have the compassion but lack the capacity. When we do that, there now is we're at risk now for our heart being enlarged. We're now at risk now for developing a bulge. We've taken on too much. We've put ourselves in a position where we've bitten off more than we can chew. We've told everybody. This is us out here with that superhero syndrome, trying to be everything to everybody all the time. This is us getting up, jumping up, slapping on that Superman cape. And I've been telling y'all for years that S on your chest does not stand for superhero. It could stand for sit down, sis. It could stand for stop it, sir. Put ourselves in a place. Now we can have an aortic aneurysm because our hearts are bulging. We're over capacity. This is too much. This is past what I can carry. We don't even know. We don't even get that it can burst at any time. 1 minute, we're out here running, trying to do everything. The next minute, we're flat on our back because we did not take the time to see, whoa, do I have the capacity to carry my compassion? Ooh, that's a mic drop. Do I have the capacity to carry my compassion? Oh, yeah, I'm helping y'all tonight. I see y'all in the comment section. Last 2 heart conditions, number 6. And then I'm going to show you all, we're going to get some heart healing. I hope this is a blessing. Number 6, heart infection. Some infections, understand this, can attack the heart directly. And I see you guys. Thank you all for sharing and tapping some other people in. Is your heart under attack? I'm dealing with 7 main heart conditions. Number 6, understand this. Some infections can attack the heart directly. I need y'all to catch this. Some infections can affect the heart directly. Tuberculosis, viruses, and other infections can inflame the sac that's surrounding the heart, causing different things to happen. Some viruses can attack the heart muscle, and so it can cause the heart to swell and weaken. What am I trying to help us with tonight? Be careful who you let in. Be careful what you let in. A lot of the times what happens is not what's going on the outside. A lot of times these heart issues, they hijack its way into our house. I've given examples before. If you Wake up one day, your family is fine, and then all of a sudden somebody starts sneezing, and you say, what's happening? And they start sneezing, and then they get sick on the stomach, and then 2 days later somebody else in the house. Well, something has hijacked its way into your house, undetected. Infections. And so what you usually do when you have a child or someone in the house that gets sick, you start to do an investigation. You say, wait a minute, I need to understand. Tell me where you were. What were you doing? Who were you around? What I need to know. Where did you go next? What did you pick up? What did you eat? Where did you eat? I mean, you start asking questions, because you're saying, I need to trace the origin, because every infection has an origin. Man, I don't know where that just came from. But somebody ought to take notes, because I'm thinking that this is going to help us. Somebody says they're being resuscitated. Every infection has an origin. So if when somebody in the house begins to get sick, what we understand is that you didn't just wake up like this. No, something hijacked its way into my house. So now I got to start asking a series of questions. We start questioning those babies. Wait, where were you? Who were you talking to? Where did you eat? What did you eat? What time did you start to feel some kind of way? Now I need to take your temperature. Now I need to start doing some stuff. I need to watch you. Now I need to go grab the Lysol, because it's evident that there's an infection. But I've got to trace the tree so that I can remove the root. So why is it then, when our heart gets under attack, when our heart becomes infected, why don't we do that same type of investigation? Why don't we begin to ask ourselves, wait a minute, where was I when my heart started acting some kind of way? Where was I? When did my heart start to malfunction? When did I start feeling bad about myself? When did I start feeling dejected? When did I take on this atmosphere of rejection and abandonment? Let me trace the tree. There's been an infection that's hijacked its way into my heart. And so I've got to trace the tree to remove the root. Let me do this investigation. When did I eat something? Because I ate something and it made me sick. And so I ingested something. Somebody told me something and I believed it, and it made me sick. Somebody did something and I internalized it, and it made me sick. Somebody said something and I marinated on that thing, and it made me sick. I traced the tree to remove the root. Let me find out. Where was this infection? Every infection has an origin. I need to know, when did I start acting funny? When did I start giving people the side eye? When did I all of a sudden start getting offended with people who used to be a blessing to me? When did I all of a sudden start thinking that somebody thought they were better than me? When did this mess start? That's a heart infection. So I need to figure out what happened. Something happened. I always say this thing. I say, is it a he? Is it a she? Is it them? Or could it be me? Number 7, last but not least, the last heart condition is heart problems at birth. Ouch and amen. Heart problems at birth. Studies say that some children are born with heart defects. Woo! I bet y'all feeling that already. Studies say some children are born with birth defects. These problems create holes in the heart. Ooh, what are you saying, Dr. E? I'm saying, trace the tree. Family issues, generational issues. My mama was suspicious of everybody. My daddy was a manipulator. My uncle got over on folk. My granddaddy had alcohol problems. I saw this growing up. That's why I always say that just because you've normalized it doesn't mean it's normal. So heart problems at birth. What type of environment did I groom myself into? I need to see, were there holes left in my heart? Did I see people say they love people with their mouth, but treat them bad. And so now I've normalized that. Well, I remember somebody saying to me, well, for some reason, they were actually, a lot of the times we wear things like a badge, but it's really a burden. I remember someone close to me was saying one time, yeah, I know how I can tell when I really love somebody, because when I love them, I usually act like I don't care about them, or I'm the less affectionate with them. I said, then that's a problem. Who taught you that? You learned that somewhere. You've saw that or seen that acted out, and you've decided that this is normal. This is what we do. Don't let people think you crazy about them. Don't let folks know you loving them hard, because then they're gonna mistreat you. Who taught you that? It's a hard problem. So as I get on the other side of this pop up to help us, we have to ask ourselves, am I at risk for heart disease? Ooh. See, a lot of the times when our heart's under attack, the first thing that we do is we look externally. We want to do external evaluation, and we want to say, who around me said something mean to me? Who around me made me feel a certain kind of way? But medically, if you are experiencing heart problems, the first thing they do is ask you about you. Ooh. The first thing that they do is ask you about you. I thought it was very interesting that as I did my research on this subject, that the first thing that the research said was, understand everyone is at risk for heart disease. I need us to understand this. Everyone is at risk for heart disease, which means that all of us have a level of susceptibility. All of us have a vulnerability. All of us have the propensity for our hearts to be under attack. But statistics show, however, you are at a higher risk if you qualify under certain categories. Here we are. Number one, if your cholesterol is high, or if your blood pressure is high, you're more prone for heart disease. If you let folks get your blood boiling, if you're always allowing people to get you caught up in stuff, always getting angry, always getting overwhelmed, that puts you at risk. Number two, smoking puts us at a higher risk of heart disease, meaning if you're inhaling something that's detrimental. So we have to understand, what am I inhaling? What am I allowing toxic to come into my body? Am I around toxic talkers? Am I dealing with toxicity, family issues, and drama? What am I breathing in? It's affecting me. It puts me at risk for heart disease. If you are obese or overweight, meaning if you are carrying something that doesn't belong to you, you're out here trying to fix your problem and Nana's problem and your grown son's girlfriend's issues, and trying to take stuff that doesn't belong to you. You're overweight. You're carrying things that don't belong to you. It puts you at risk for heart disease. If you don't get enough physical activity, because you're in one place, man, if you're in a place where you're carrying the spirit of stagnation, you won't move forward. You won't go out into your purpose. You just keep waiting. You're a chronic procrastinator. You're a perfectionist, and you just keep working on it and won't work it out. Listen, stop working on it and start working it. You're not getting enough physical activity. And last but not least, if you don't eat a healthy diet, if you're not ingesting the right things that are going to benefit you, always ingesting junk. What are you eating? What are you watching on TV? What are you listening to? What are you hearing? What's going inside of you? That's a part of your diet. And so, as I bring this thing to a close, I hope this is helping you. How do we prevent heart disease? Now that we understand that everybody is at risk for heart disease, it's got to be something we can do to put ourselves in a place where we can protect our heart, keep our heart with all diligence. Number one, eat healthy. Sometimes the reason why we are at risk for heart attack, we are physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually at risk for our heart being attacked, it's because we don't eat healthy. And so I want everybody to start thinking about their diet, their physical diet and the natural. But then let's look at other diets. What's your spiritual diet? Do you have a healthy dose of the word? Do you have a healthy dose of literature? Are you just always on TikTok and Facebook all day? What information are you ingesting? What do you know? What are you learning? Are you stretching your mind capacity? When is the last time, I feel my help, that you learned a new skill? When is the last time that you've stretched yourself out of doing just the normal? How lazy is your brain? Eating healthy. Your brain is a muscle and it needs to eat. When is the last time that you've ate healthy conversations? You're talking to the same people, talking about the same stuff all the time. You're eating that's like every single day, I'm going to eat chicken. Every day, chicken. I just want what you want to eat, chicken. It can be fried, it can be baked, it can be chicken every single day. At some point, your body is missing the proper nutrients because you're doing the same thing. Eat healthy. You have to make sure you have to walk around and understand that I've got to add other things to my diet. What other things am I adding to my diet in order to be healthy? If you just listen to one single person, understand that that person, and we all love wisdom and we all honor certain people, but can I tell you, the Bible says in the counsel of wisdom is safety. That means that there may be people that can speak to me in one capacity, in one arena of my life, but I also need to make sure that if I'm going to eat healthy, that I'm able to talk to somebody else who may have a different perspective to help me. People that try to be territorial about your life, you don't need to listen to anybody but me. You don't need to fool with anybody but me. If you deal with anybody outside of my circle and outside, then no. You may be able to help me spiritually, but this person can help me financially. You may be able to help me financially, but this person can help me professionally. You may be able to help me professionally, but this person can help me prophetically. This person can help me relationally. This person can help me strategically. This person can help me administratively. And so eating healthy means once I find wise counsel that is healthy for me, I don't confine myself to a diet that dilutes me, a diet that diminishes or deteriorates me. The next thing that you have to do to prevent heart disease is get active. Ain't nothing to it but to do it. At some point, we've got to move forward. We've got to do something besides talk about it. It's time to be about it. We've got to do something besides plan it. And we've got to, after we've planned, we now have to launch it. We've got to get to the place where we're not always in preparation mode. At some point, we need to be result oriented. Get active, do something. The songwriter said, make it do what it do, but do something. Next, how to prevent heart disease. Stay at a healthy weight. Y'all not gonna hear me in this house. Stay at a healthy weight. That means always monitor your weight capacity. If people begin giving you things that are past your ability to carry it, you can politely give it back to them. Thank you, but no thank you. Let me give that back to you. No, I'm not going to be able to do that. No, not this time. No, thank you. So understanding, how do you stay at a healthy weight? You've got to understand, every time that you've picked up unnecessary weight because your body starts groaning. Amen, lights. Somebody gonna talk to me tonight. Your body starts groaning in different places. It starts saying, that means I've taken on something past my capacity. My frame is not built. If you get on an elevator, the first thing that you're going to see as you get on that elevator is you're going to see this is the maximum weight capacity. And what it's telling you is if too many people get on this elevator, you're not going up and you're not going down. As a matter of fact, two things may happen. You're either going to come to a standstill or you're going to go down too fast and risk injury. So are you monitoring your weight capacity? Before you start passing out yeses. Sure, I'll be able to do it. Yes, I can do it. Yes, I can take it. Yes, I can. When is the last time that you wait? Let me check my heart. Do I have the capacity to take this on? Do I have the capacity to handle this? I can't handle that. Listen, I want to. But when I put my compassion and my capacity on this scale, this time it's going to be a good crispy no. Next, how do you prevent heart disease? I got 4 more, and I'm going to let y'all go. Quit smoking and stay away from secondhand smoke. Woo, what am I saying? Stop being toxic. Stop being a toxic talker, always talking down on yourself, always talking yourself out of good things, talking yourself out of opportunities, always being negative about stuff all of the time, always seeing the bad, always being suspicious. That's toxic. You're polluting your own environment. Ooh, you're polluting your own environment. Putting things in the atmosphere and then blaming it on the devil when it comes to pass. No. The Bible says that's how it is with my word. It goes out to perform everything I sent it out to do. What assignment have you sent your words on? I feel like running. What assignment have you given your words? I can't do that. Well, they're going on assignment. This is not for me. They're going on assignment. And then staying away from secondhand smoke. Studies show that secondhand smoke is as detrimental to us than smoking ourselves. So now do that external evaluation. Who am I around? Because if I'm in a room full of smoke, even if I've never gotten near the fire, when I walk away from it, people are going to say, you smell like smoke. It's gotten all in your hair. It's all in your clothes. And now you're guilty by association. Somebody's going to hear this higher. And because you've been in a place, because you're in a place of toxicity, you stay in an environment of toxicity. People who are pessimists, people who are always offended, people who are always starting mess, people who know the latest gossip, people who are always concerned about other folks' business, people who are always causing division and dissension and starting up the drama among brethren. You smell like smoke, so you're guilty by association. Next, how do you prevent heart disease? Control your cholesterol. You have authority over your atmosphere. You can say, no, I don't need those bad calories. No, I'm not going to eat that. You said I can't do that. I'm not going to eat that. I'm not going to digest that. No, I reject that notion. Thank you for your opinion, but I reject it. Control your cholesterol. I'm not going to take on unhealthy calories. No, I don't want to hear it. No, let me put that on do not disturb. Let me add them to my block list. Let me ban them from my page. Let me unfriend, because if I'm going to prevent heart disease, then I've got to control my cholesterol. I've got to be cognizant of what goes on in my body. I can't allow my blood pressure to go up. Stop telling people y'all can call on me for anything. No. Some of y'all owe people a phone call tonight. Hey, I just wanted to say I made a mistake. I told you call me anytime, but that's not accurate. You can call me Mondays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays before 12. And now here's the criteria for that call. Don't call me about them. Don't call me about that. I want to talk about this in this season of my life. I am going to have to take authority over my atmosphere. The only way I can control my blood pressure is that I begin to do some damage control. Hey, don't bring me that. But here we are with revolving doors. Keep our doors unlocked. Come on in anytime. Bring it to me. I'm listening. No, no, I understand my weight capacity. And because I understand that not staying at a healthy weight will cause me to be at risk for heart disease, no, I know my boundaries. There's a blessing in boundaries. Last two, drink alcohol. Don't drink alcohol. If you do, it better be in moderation. In other words, a lot of the times we try to take things on that changes our perception and that alters our attitude. We take things that modify our mindsets. Be careful about the things that change the way you see people and change the way you hear people. If all of a sudden you used to respect somebody and then something came and now all of a sudden you looking at them in a suspect way when they didn't do anything, you're kind of side guessing. Check your heart. Your heart might be under attack. And last but not least, manage stress. All of us are going to be stressed. There's going to be places and times in our lives where we are going to be overwhelmed. We're going to be overwrought with things that we deal with. But one of the things that I always say to people is one of the biggest ways to manage stress, and that I teach my mentees and my coaching clients. I say, honor your emotions, but arrest your actions. Don't let your feelings make you act like a fool. I'm going to say it two more times because I need y'all to catch this. Honor your emotions, but arrest your actions. Don't let your feelings make you act like a fool. One more time. Honor your emotions. They're valid. If you're feeling overwhelmed, honor it. If you're feeling taken advantage of, honor it. If you're feeling like nobody understands you, honor it. If you feel like they got over on you, honor it. If you're disappointed in how they treated you, honor it. Honor your emotions. But wait a minute, snatch that thing. Arrest your actions. Before you call out, I'm sorry, that's my puppy in the background. Arrest your actions. Snatch that thing back in before you make that post, before you send that text, before you pick up that phone. Arrest your actions. Am I going to put myself in a position where I'm going to burn a bridge that I might need later? Am I going to put myself in a position where I cause people to look at me the wrong way because I spoke out of my emotions? Honor them, but arrest your actions. Don't let your feelings make you act like a fool, because some people, you only have one time to act like a fool in their house and you no longer get an invitation. So we want to make sure that as we're moving in leadership, as we're moving in our authority, as we're moving in our place of prominence, as we're moving inside of and becoming and evolving into who we're purposed to be, we want to make sure that we don't leave our hearts vulnerable to attack. So I want to say this. I hope that if this teaching was good, can you guys put up a number one? If you guys are on Clubhouse, hit me up in my IG inbox and let me know. But if this was good to you all, let's see those ones. Just throw that one up and let me know that this blessed you guys, or throw your hands up and let me know that it blessed you all. I want to say something to you guys because I really am being positioned to really speak to those of us who are called higher, called to the next level. I have a heart for leaders and people who are positioned to move forward, who have been held down because maybe their own lack of confidence, other people's opinions, just not having the right instructions. I'm called to leadership, and I want you to know that I am working on something amazing for you all. If you're ready for the next level in your leadership, make sure that you connect with me and you are connected with me. I don't often talk about this, but I have opened the door to accept applications for my premium coaching program. Now, I'm just telling you, this is top tier leadership. So this is for people who are ready for top tier leadership. It is a 5-figure coaching program. But when I say that, when you leave me, you are ready to make it do what it do. If you're interested, you can send the word coach to me so that I can know that you are in a position where you want to consider that. But if you're interested in my new leadership resources, we have an amazing event coming, an amazing resource coming. But if you've positioned yourself as a leader and you really want to operating on a different level of leadership, send us the word leader, because I want to know who is going to be in this new arena that I'm working towards, of high tier leaders that really want to shift. So make sure, we just want to be able to identify you so that we're understanding who really is in these places. And so I have some amazing things coming. I'm so excited and so honored to be in a place as I transition to be able to equip you guys in your now. But take note of what I talked about tonight. Take it to heart. If you were on Clubhouse and didn't catch it, you can go back and catch it on YouTube. Make sure you guys subscribe to my YouTube channel. I have so many different course things there. I have an amazing institute, Purpose Positioning Institute. There's a confidence course on there. If you are dealing with a lack of confidence, if you're feeling like I don't have what it takes to be great, or I'm still really trying to get my self-esteem back, I have an amazing confidence course that's there. I have so many personal development courses, purposepositioning.com, or you can go to drelisaharney.com and it will send you right there if you're looking for personal development. I've done courses about being untethered for things that have held you down. I have wholeness webinars, when loving me is wrong, how to begin to love yourself correctly. So I want to make sure that I keep resources available for you guys to have access to, because in this next season, I want us to operate in wholeness. And I really just want to speak to our hearts to make sure that we are properly positioned to prosper. So thank you all that were there. If you're on Clubhouse, I'm going to open the floor real quick to anybody on Clubhouse that wants to talk. So if you guys jump on over to Clubhouse, I'm going to just give them a moment if they want to come to the stage and talk. But if you are on YouTube or on Facebook, thank you guys so much. If you did not share this broadcast, make sure that you share it, because somebody is going to want to get this information and do a heart inventory check. So thank you guys. As I always say, until next time,